Alright, this is for everyone that says the Bible is a white man's book. The original translation written by King James and the men that were with him, they were all black. But you would only know this if you understood that we ruled Europe for hundreds of years, way longer than the people that are in power now became in power. And Benjamin Franklin proves this in an article that you can Google. All you gotta do is type in the phrase swarthy Germans and then Benjamin Franklin's name, and then the articles will pop right up. Literally, the first one says a history of American anti-immigrant bias, starting with Benjamin Franklin's hatred of the Germans. Now, why would he hate Germans if they were white? But I'm gonna use this article with this picture to quote Benjamin Franklin directly. Reading here, it says the other objection that Benjamin Franklin had to German immigrants was their swarthy complexion, which was an affront to the purely white people who originally settled America. Well, more like murdered everybody that was here, not really settled. But let's look up that word swarthy. Its historical definition is dark colored, dark skin, dark complexion, tanned, and black. But this truly describes everyone from as light as Steph Curry to as dark as Wesley Snipes. And this is because we, Israel, come in all different shades of brown. But Benjamin Franklin just said the original Germans were black. He then says, why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of our Anglifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion? Just more confirmation that the original Germans were Israel. But here's the nail in the coffin. He then says this, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionately very small. All Africa is black or tawny, Asia is chiefly tawny, America, and then whatever he says there, and then Europe, Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes are generally what we call swarthy complexion, as are the Germans. Now I'm gonna say it again. Europeans, Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes, and Germans are all originally what would be considered black people. And he said this in the late 1700s. So all these depictions of King James in the 1600s are lies. Same way all these depictions of Christ are lies. Like his description is literally given in the book. With his head and hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame unto fire, and his feet like unto a fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. So his feet and his skin was the color of brass, which is like a burnt brown or a dark color. That article should ring off a big light in your head. The majority of black people here today were already here or migrated from Europe. The smallest percentage of us came over on those ships from Africa. Millions of people couldn't survive those conditions, especially not on that long-ass trip. But it's not a white man's book. King James was an Israelite. The Bible God had him write was for these people, the 12 tribes of Israel.